Hey everyone, Token Dave over here. Dorky token black guy who's just trying to get by. And welcome to another edition of That Was Random. So, I was at work earlier today and listening to YouTube, and by the way, if some of y'all that are subscribed to me are wondering how I'm able to catch up with all of your stuff, I listen to y'all while I'm at work. I don't watch the video because I could get in trouble and possibly fired, but I listen to what y'all say. Most of y'all. So just to give you a heads up. Anywho, so I was listening, and one of the people I listened to broke the news from something related to the MCU. And pretty much the MCU is treating death the exact same way they do in the comics. Not mistress death, I mean people dying. Let me explain. After the death of Superman, when I was I think I was 12 to 13. Yeah, it ended up being a year-long event. I was 12 to 13 years old when that happened. The result of the return of Superman coming back from the dead meant that any comic book character could come back. And, Superman coming back was cool and all, but then later on, you had Jason Todd coming back from the dead. You had Donna Troy dying in Graduation Day, only to come back probably a couple of months later. You had Bucky coming back in Winter Soldier, right? And that was a big deal because y'all gotta remember, Bucky was dead since the 1940s. Dude was dead for 50 years of comics, and then they brought him back. So far, the only superheroes that have not come back to life have been Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, and who else? Man, someone was in my mind, and then they haven't come back yet. But anyway, pretty much now it's in the MCU. Anyone that dies is automatically going to come back. And to be honest, that's a bit of a beef with me because it really doesn't add much weight to situations in movies. For example, if y'all saw that movie Lucy, I'm not a fan of that movie. And the reason why I wasn't a fan is because the sense of danger and peril, I didn't feel anything perilous, I mean, the story was interesting, but I couldn't get too engaged in what was happening because, one thing about comics, especially Marvel comics during the dark period, what I consider the dark period actually, anything could freaking happen, and it didn't always end up in the most positive way, and people comparing Avengers Infinity War to Empire Strikes Back, it doesn't have that feel anymore due to what happened in Avengers Infinity War, which I won't spoil for y'all because, yeah, I know some of you probably didn't watch Infinity War yet, and I don't want to spoil it, but basically, it doesn't end on that down note the same way as Empire does because, Empire had, this bleak outlook without a sense of hope. Avengers Infinity War, it's all this crap that's happening doesn't really mean much, in the long run because, hell, everyone that died in the MCU pretty much is going to come back, so it doesn't have that same impact or same weight as you'd expect some people that actually died. And I'm not just talking about died in Avengers Infinity War. I'm talking about died earlier in the MCU. It doesn't really mean much. It's oh, they died. Oh, okay, they're coming back. Now, someone told me that basically there is a hope. If I feel this way, then how come I don't feel this way about Agent Coulson in S.H.I.E.L.D., Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. To which I said, number one, I don't really watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but from what I heard, You know, it didn't seem too implausible how he died and how he came back, you know. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is more so grounded in reality, and the MCU, it took the fans serious. It knew it was fantastical, but found a way to ground some things. There are like some parameters where, you know, some things should be finalized. And I don't get that feeling anymore because of this news. But so, you know, this drags down the impact Avengers Infinity War had. So, agree? Disagree? Please, drop me a comment below. Give me a like. Follow me on Facebook at Token Dave or on Twitter at Token Dave 80. Subscribe and ring that bell so you know when a new video loads. But until then, this has been Token Dave, Dorky Token Black Guy who's just trying to get by. I'll catch all of y'all later.